You are not getting laid ever if you walk into bed with fucking inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Welcome back, everybody. A brand new episode of Inappropriate. I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
Just a home run of a show for you guys today.
I know.
And whether you are listening to us driving to work or driving somewhere, we hope that the traffic is free and green lights as far as the eye can see. If you are just so lucky to be chilling at home on this beautiful fall day, wrapped in a blanket, just let Jim and Steve sit down next to you and
Just
have a
make you
conversation.
relax, baby.
Just close your eyes.
Close your eyes and just chuckle to yourself.
Chuckle out loud.
Yeah, chuckle. Yeah, laugh so loud that other people are like, "What are you laughing about?" And say, "It's this awesome podcast I listen to."
Steve, why should the listeners stay tuned for the rest of this episode? What do we got coming for them?
Well, we got something that everybody wants to talk about, which hopefully at the time of this post is still big, the lottery.
Yes!
And I have another thing that people love to do and usually have to do. We're going to talk about pee.
Oh, well, everybody loves a little pee-pee. I tell you what, my topic that I'm bringing to the table this week hit me like a goddamn bat out of hell. I read this article and I was like, no way this is true. It's about the origins of Kellogg's Cornflakes. And I could give you 100 guesses. You ain't guessing it. So
the origins.
The reason why Kellogg's made cornflakes.
Was that its first? I guess that's the first thing Kellogg's ever made.
It's possible, and we're gonna find out later.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
First things first. Our listeners don't know, or probably don't know, that we are building a brand new studio for the Inappropriate podcast.
Well, Jim's building a brand new studio.
I'm building a brand new studio, and we are winding down the last couple episodes in the old studio.
It's going to be exciting to move to the new studio.
Yes, we have big plans for the new studio. We have brand new guests that are waiting. That we are waiting to schedule for this new studio once it gets up and running. And I think we only have 1 or 2 episodes left in the old studio, so I don't. It's going to be an end of an era, Steve, but
I know.
Progress.
Maybe
is
we'll
progress.
bring Joe in for the christening of the new studio.
He'll want us to go down his house for the christening the new studio. And then the second thing, as we kick off the show, I just feel like and maybe you feel this way, there's just a little too much negativity on, all social media. There's a lot of haters everywhere.
Everyone's negative.
How can we change the perspective and have less hate? And I thought the best way to do that, because I occasionally see in my feed friends or family members or just people that are doing something remarkable, semi-remarkable, and I want to brag for other people. One episode that we can just brag for listeners.
Yeah, and feel free to send us your brag at Inappropriate with Jim and Steve.
Whoever you want to brag about, they don't even have to be listeners. Of course, it's great if who you're bragging at is a listener.
Say something nice about your wife or husband, and
absolutely.
It could get you laid.
If your wife is just an absolute horrible cook, she can't cook a damn thing without burning it, and then she cooked, a chicken casserole or something that was just delectable.
Some delightful salmon pasta.
Some, well done salmon pasta. Then, send us a little brag and we will shout your wife out.
Yeah.
What's the first time you do something inaugural? How do you spell that?
Oh, man, that's going to be
that's a word
inaugural.
That I can't.
Inauguration. It sounds good enough.
How about first annual?
First time.
First time. So the first one that came to mind when I thought about doing this was my brother-in-law. He occasionally listens.
He lives in California, right?
He used to live in California, and now he lives in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, the reason to move to Colorado is the same reason to move to California now.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. His name's Paul. I'm not going to say last names or anything, but about a year ago, he decided he's just going to start jogging, health reasons, just start jogging and running. Within a year, a couple weeks ago, he just finished a 50K.
A 50K?
A 50K. Not a 5K or a 10K. He finished a 50K.
If a 5K is 3.2 miles, I think it 3 point something like that. So 3 miles, a little over. He did 50. So he ran 30 miles?
Yeah.
That's more than a marathon.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Oh, his nipples probably hurt so bad.
Paul, chime in. Did your toenails fall off? Because I always hear like the toenails fall off, the nipples are just rubbed raw. Reach out to me and give us an update on that. But I just thought it was just a remarkable thing to go from like just your, I guess, run-of-the-mill person who likes to hike and slight jogs all the way up to training and finishing a 50K.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Moving on to our next segment. Steve, you have piqued my curiosity.
Yes. So right now, as we record this podcast, I believe the Powerball or Mega Millions, one of the two, is like over $1 billion.
Yes.
All right. And now, I don't know if it's like every state's like this, but now everybody uses those machines to buy lottery tickets. It has like scratch offs and
because a human can't possibly ring you up.
I know. But I was in a convenience store today, and the line to get lottery tickets, because I was like, oh, you know what? While I'm here, I should probably get some lottery tickets while I'm here, just because the one outer that you actually get.
Oh, you gotta throw your couple bucks in.
Yeah, like but so I go in there, and the line, and I was thinking to myself, how long is too long to wait in a line?
I'll tell
especially for an ATM machine. And I will admit, there was first an old woman.
Nope, it's too long. It's too long. One old lady is the equivalent of about 8 normal speed people.
Yes. It's kind of like self-checkout lanes. But yeah. I went in and I saw there was an old lady, and she had the
blank stare, like looking around, like waiting for somebody to rescue
moving her finger, like pressing the screen, and it wasn't doing anything because she's like holding down on the screen.
I think it's a slot machine.
Yeah, and then there was like a middle-aged guy, a couple middle-aged guys, and then another guy who had a handful of tickets, and it was maybe 7 people or 6 people. I'll say 6 people. And I was just like, there's zero chance I'm going to wait here.
Not a chance.
I might have passed up on $1 billion, but I couldn't handle it because the old woman and the guy with tickets. And it made me think, like, when is a line too long?
That is too long. I never go to get lottery tickets. It's always like, oh, I'll grab one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, when it's like a couple billion, maybe I'll drive past and I'll only go into the convenience store. But I'm not leaving my house to go pick one up. And if I go to, let's say, a Wawa or Royal Farms or whatever convenience store you have, and there is 2 people that were in your line are like the death of the line. It's the old lady who will just start complaining about technology.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just can't ring me up at the front. I have my ticket,
and then she can't figure out how to put things in her cart and check it. And then you have this guy with a stack of tickets that he's playing the Powerball, he's playing the Mega Millions, he's doing his midday numbers. He's got a stack of numbers that I don't even know where these people get this much money. Because you cannot come out ahead. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the guy that plays. That's the guy plays every day.
I read an awesome article from a urologist.
Oh,
yeah.
I always like to get chimed in from a urologist.
Yes. Now, this is a common thing that I feel that happens as people get older in life, is having to pee in the middle of the night. Does that happen to you, Jim?
I'm not a midnight peer, but as I get older, it has happened more. And I think I do that make a deal with yourself sometimes. If it's 3 a.m., can I lay like this for 2 more hours?
Yeah, I do that. I do that same thing.
Can I be comfortable for 2 more hours? And then there's sometimes where I will just wake up and there's no doubt. Like you just get up and you just start walking because for whatever reason, like your body's like, move those fucking legs.
As I've gotten older, I realize it doesn't happen every night, but there are nights where I wake up and I'm just like, I could hold it, or I could just get up and go pee, and then I can go right back to sleep.
But then you think to yourself, am I going to wake up too much? And I'm not going to be able to get back to sleep.
Like you're tricking,
yeah, you have to trick yourself to stay tired enough that you can get right back into bed and go back to sleep, because you don't want to like wake up too much and then let's go lay in your bed and not be able to fall back to sleep and then ruin your whole next day just because you got up and took a piss.
Do you always put down the toilet seat?
Yes.
I always do too. Oh, you have the ones that won't slam.
Correct.
I always gently put it down because I don't want to because I have a bathroom in my bedroom.
Right.
And I don't want to wake my wife up, but I also don't want to startle myself awake too much to where I can do it. Sometimes I don't wash my hands either.
Well, you can walk in without touching anything. Like that's the weird thing. If it's your house, you walk in the middle of the night. I sit down.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I don't want the loudness of the pee to wake my wife up, and my wife is the lightest sleeper you've ever met.
Has she yelled at you before for waking her up with your pee stream?
I wake her up if I roll over too hard.
Like she must get mad at you all the time.
She can sleep in a freaking coffin. She doesn't move. And I'm serious. She can sleep on like a 1.5 foot wide cot and be okay, like a goddamn mummy. And she puts the blankets on and puts her arms over the blankets and tucks it in on her side, so it's like nice, like a fucking cocoon. And she's if I look over, it's like she's staring up at the ceiling.
She must love hotel sheets, like when you go to a hotel and they're all tight, like it's.
Oh yeah. Do you tuck in the bottom of your blanket in the bottom of the bed?
The sheet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So when you slip into bed, that bottom blanket, the top blanket is tucked, and then the sheet is tucked in and under.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I never grew up like that.
Oh, okay.
I grew up with the sheet that I could kind of kick it up and then swoop it under my feet.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of loose, but there. And I've grown into accepting it because my wife does it.
Well, remember a previous episode we talked about where I'm scared. I was traumatized by the toe monster.
Yeah.
So I've never wanted my toes to be exposed. So I've
exposed toes attract the toe monster.
It's hard to explain, not really, but it bends my feet. Like my feet don't have full flexibility because it's like cramps down, I guess you could say. So
I walk like a duck, so it's just the side.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this urologist wrote a great article on how to stop yourself from peeing at night. He said, if you read this article and do these things, you can cut it down. He was saying if you pee 2 times a night, you only have to pee once.
Oh.
So I figure, if I do these things, I was like, call me intrigued. Let's see if this will actually work. And it's 2 things to do.
Okay.
All right.
I think we can all do these.
Yeah. And I was like,
our audience is getting to the age where health tips actually are important.
Yes. So the first one was wear tight socks.
Well, I do wear socks to bed.
All right. Wear those knee-high
I do not
compression socks.
You are not getting laid ever if you walk into bed with fucking knee-high compression socks.
You walk in with, because that, spoiler alert for Succession. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe I didn't finish it.
All right. Well, yeah. When you get on planes, you should always wear compression socks. They always say you should wear compression socks.
I think I have heard that.
Yeah. He says wear tight socks because it keeps your blood flow.
Okay.
going, so it doesn't do that. So because he said you don't, when you're young, you have more anti-urine production. So
I
as
didn't
you
know
get
that was
older-
a thing.
I didn't know it's a thing either. And
Now there's
so-
going to be anti-urine production pills.
yeah, so now, yes, there'll be something. We can corner the market on it. And then the second one is don't drink water before you go to bed.
I was going to say, like, that's obvious. Like, if you have
It's-
good, like a midnight, like a late night snack,
Yeah,
guaranteed you're going to
I'm thinking this article's gonna be something
Like groundbreaking?
Yeah, groundbreaking. And I was just like, it's don't drink water and wear tight socks. That's all it is. And he said when you wake up to pee, make sure you don't then drink another glass of water because you'll have to pee again. This is it was in the New York Times, and it is the biggest bullshit article I've ever read in my entire life.
When I read articles like that, one, I always think, what a bullshit article. But
Yeah.
two, I think that, okay, we're lucky that it must be a slow news day that this made the cut. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's no like world tragedies going on.
Yeah,
Speaking of like the slow news, like stupid stories, I remember watching like a local news, like WBAL or one of the local channels, and they were in the middle of the city, live on the scene of a weed that was growing out of the sidewalk that was 6 foot tall. And they were saying how
Stan Stovall there.
yeah,
live
like
on it.
Stan Stovall live, here at the corner of West Madison and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's a crack in the sidewalk and it's like 6 foot tall weed. And they're saying how remarkable it is that this weed was able to, get to the height of, and I'm thinking like, this is on TV. Like somebody had to pitch this.
Yeah,
Some producer, how many sign-offs does it take for something to become like a news story? And it got some fucking asshole. He went home and started cussing at motherfuckers. Like, I went to journalism school
I know.
for, 4 years
I'm a goddamn professional and I'm looking at fucking weeds.
in the middle of the fucking city.
It's always like that video. Remember the video of the guy that gets the bug in his mouth?
Yes, yes.
And he just starts motherfucking everything when the bee, he's like, God damn it.
God damn it.
But it's just so stupid. If they send you to go do the 6 foot weed story, you're like, I'm fucking low, man.
Oh,
I'm
you're one stutter on air from being fired. If that's if you're getting on that.
And you got to make it interesting. I will say that I always watch the news in the morning, and know what I love to have in the morning?
A blowjob.
Aside from that, I like Kellogg's Cornflakes.
So, great transition, Steve. And
We're professionals in this old studio.
this story is absolutely unbelievable, and I can't even paraphrase. It's not a super long article, but I'm just gonna have to read it until you get to the point. Kellogg's Cornflakes may seem like a perfectly wholesome, innocent breakfast choice, but they have a rather bizarre origin story. The popular cereal was first made back in 1894 by John Harvey Kellogg. If you ever, and that's a trivia.
John
answer.
Kelly.
John Harvey Kellogg. It was originally created as a healthy food for the parents of the sanitarium in which he worked.
Sanitarium is a poop plant, right?
Maybe sanitarium. I don't know. Do we have any listeners chime in? Let us know what a sanitarium is. And its inception was functional. It was supposed to be healthy and deliberately bland. It seems odd that someone would make a deliberately tasteless food, but it was all part of an extreme diet promoted by his church, aimed at suppressing passion.
What?
He was a Seventh-day Adventist, a branch of Christianity that advocated a strict vegetarian diet devoid of alcohol, caffeine, or meat. In addition, Kellogg was a fervent believer of abstinence and believed sex and masturbation were unhealthy and abnormal. He created Kellogg's to deliberately be bland to prevent people from masturbating.
What? Oh my God. Because it's so boring of a cereal that it makes you more of a boring person.
Yes. Well, I don't know about boring person.
I mean, I just trying to like.
but
Did it have something in it that made you? But it was just boring ass cereal.
It was just boring ass cereal.
It's like one step away from gruel.
Yeah, he made it to fight off any potential desire. He worked on ways people could curb their sexual impulses, including creating cornflakes.
God, this makes me want to try something.
You just want to jerk off on cornflakes.
No. If there is a time in my life when I'm aroused, I want to try to eat a bowl of cornflakes and see if it goes away. Like see if it actually works. This may be a challenge we have to do. You and I watch something on TV. Watch porno.
Fully aroused, eating
Two
a bowl of cornflakes and do a live update on.
Yeah.
I got a semi. Oh no, it's down to a chub.
I know. And then your
Oh, I
wife
got
will
a
come
turtle
downstairs
head.
and be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Pants down, eating a bowl of cornflakes.
Because you got to eat it with your pants down. Because how can we? We got to
There's-
fact check it. Call
ain't
the
taking
news.
your
We can
word
get somebody
for it.
from the news here.
Get Stan Stovall.
Okay, fucking stand stove.
Look at this weed in my pants.
If that, like, because no way that actually that worked.
I don't know. I mean, it caught on.
Like,
I mean,
it
you can get cornflakes today.
Yeah, you can get cornflakes today, and you do. I always thought it was just for It was like a nutritional cereal.
Well, now we know. Maybe the wives. Maybe if your wife goes shopping and brings home cornflakes, maybe she's trying to turn down your desire.
Yeah.
Maybe she's telling you she wants less sex.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. You know what? That Seventh Day
Adventist.
Adventist.
Yeah.
I remember having people that worked at Verizon that were that, and I fucking hated them.
I don't know too much about them. Are they like an extreme?
It reminds you of like kind of like Amish kind of thing. But the thing, I don't know. You know what? I don't really know anything about it. The only thing I knew about it was that they couldn't work on fucking Saturdays.
Oh, them sons of bitches!
You know what I'm talking about?
You're going to get a retail job and be like, I can't work on Saturday.
Yeah. I remember someone transferred to the store when I was a manager, and he was like, "I'm a Seventh Day Adventist, and that means I can't work on Saturday." And all I wanted to do was call bullshit on him and be like, "No, you're not." So
Can they work on Sunday?
that motherfucker worked every Sunday.
Well, yeah. If you get off every
If you got
Saturday,
off every Saturday, yeah, I put him on fucking every Sunday.
that's crazy. But you know what? What are you gonna do? You can't discriminate with like religious whatever.
You can't say no, and it was just always, and that's the only thing I remember from them. As soon as you read Seventh Day Adventist, I was like, oh, fucking can't work on
Fucking
fucking Saturday.
weirdos.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck. Now I don't. I always put sugar in my Kellogg's anyway. I had them a little bit spicy. I like.
And I like to top it off with a sprinkle of Viagra just to make sure it's not working.
You eat a Blue Chew, and then you start doing that.
What a whirlwind of events there, Steve.
I know we went all over the place.
Follow us on all the social medias. When I say all, I mean Facebook.
Yeah, because that's the only people.
That's the only one that we do. And Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram just does pictures. You could write to me on it. You can write to us on Instagram
Inappropriate with Jim and Steve on the socials
or X if you want to write on X.
We don't check X too often.
Yeah, but I get alerts.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Maybe we should check it more.
But you know, that one podcast girl and her husband. I don't.
Speaking of X, that's the most toxic of all social medias.
Oh, 100% it is.
I can scroll on Facebook and be cool. Like, because I know to some degree every single person on Facebook that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Instagram, kind of the same deal. I don't spend much time on Instagram, and I spend very little time on Twitter or X. But every time I do, by the time I log off, I'm angry. Every single time. To the point I deleted it, which is why if you've sent us a message on Twitter or anything, it has not been answered or received because I can't do that to myself anymore.
Oh,
It just instantly puts me in a bad mood every single time. It's so toxic.
I will say the only time it wasn't toxic was the podcast contest we were in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody was so fucking nice. And then remember our approach to go into that, where we were going to be like the Howard Sterns and just start fucking ragging on everybody's shit. But everyone was so nice and positive, and like everyone was patting on the back that we got knocked out in the first round anyway. So I was just like, all right.
Yeah, we didn't put a lot of effort into that.
No, we had big plans.
And the people who created that went under.
What didn't you check? And we're the last of the podcasts that were in that?
Yeah, which is funny. So whenever you start something or a hobby or this that, like specifically this for podcasts, there's like a group of podcasts that started around the same time, and then you kind of see, and it's kind of a healthy competition. You know, you see how who's growing, how check out people's topics or check out their episodes, and we're always like, they fucking suck. And what it came down to is we are the last remaining podcast out of all of them.
So technically we won.
We did. They might have won the battle, but we won the war.
Exactly.
So follow us everywhere. Thanks for listening. Why don't you hang out this week, next week, and every week after? Share the podcast if you're feeling froggy and you want to type a little something. Or if your podcast player has a review section, just click on 5 stars or 4 stars or 3. We don't give a shit. Just review us. And then, share it with your friends.
Yep.
For this week on Inappropriate, I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.